Hello guys, this is the Fastbreak. I'm your host, Ayman Aziz here, along with Baizid Musfiq and Phil Pita.
Yo, what it do?
Yo, Baizid in the house.
And right now we're going to be talking about some basketball topics that are going on today before the NBA season happens in October. And yeah, let's start. So guys, the first question I wanted to start off with is predicting NBA standings and what we could expect in the East and West, because this year it's more open than ever. I'm pretty sure you guys agree.
Agree.
100%. 100%.
So I wanted to ask you guys, do you already have like your standings in place, like who's getting what place and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
I have like a rough idea. I don't know. I could try and make one off the top of my head, but I think I have a pretty rough estimate of the standings right now.
And when you mean standings, do you mean full NBA standings, or you want to talk about the West and East separately?
We could talk about them separately, but let's start off with like the West for now, because that's gonna be like the craziest conference. So like,
yeah, it's more interesting. A lot more happened in the West, I would say, this offseason, although a lot did happen in the East as well.
Like, you guys don't got to give me a placement from like 1 to 8, but like, who do you guys think are at least the definites on making the Western Conference?
So at least top 5, top 8 playoff seeds. So we'll just name, I guess.
Yeah, no particular order.
All right, yeah, sure.
I'm down for a particular order. It doesn't matter. We'll just go. Let's just see what's up. Tell me, what do you think, Phil?
Okay, so I think for now I'm just gonna state the teams that are going. I think that's what we should do, and then later try and do a ranking.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
So the teams that I have making the Western Conference the playoffs, so seeds 1 through 8, I have the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, the Clippers, the Lakers.
Of course. You got to have the Jazz in there, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, the Jazz, the Trailblazers, and I'm missing one team, and I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs because
you can never count them out.
Popovich always finds a year to bring the Spurs in, even with their roster not being too crazy. I believe they will still make the playoffs, either the 7th or the 8th seed, however.
Yeah, I think the Spurs making the playoff is good, but I feel like they're early. They have an early exit.
Yes, and I am underestimating the Jazz heavy. I know that they're a good team.
With the pickups, Bojan Bogdanovic, and trading for Mike Conley, man.
That team will definitely get out of the first round. However, I do have them.
Oh wait, what? You had them out of the first round?
No, they will win the first round. Okay. But I have them getting out of the second round.
Wait, right, so Visine underestimates the Jazz all the time whenever we talk about them.
So that's my 1 through 8, no particular order.
I like that 1 through 8 because the Spurs, I forgot to mention, but what's it called? DeJounte Murray's coming off of an injury, and then you have I was about to say Kyle Anderson, Derek White. Have you guys been seeing him play for Team USA?
Derek White is definitely a beast.
They're a good defensive backcourt.
You still got Aldridge, you still got DeRozan, of course. So
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a crazy year, but I think they're going to be doing good.
It's going to be tough for them in the West this year, with the Clippers getting Kawhi and Paul George, and, with the Lakers, LeBron and AD. But I think that they could still, make the playoffs and contend.
Right.
Also, I think we underestimate within the next 1 or 2 years. We underestimate what the Sacramento Kings will be. I feel like they're gonna have a huge come up.
Yes.
Of course.
I don't have them making the playoffs this year, however, with the stacked West. But I have them in the near future, definitely within the next couple of years, without a doubt.
If you do, I don't blame you. They're looking really nice right now. I
like them. I have them around the 6th or 7th seed around there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be even better. What's it called? I'm gonna see some big things from Marvin Bagley. I think he's
Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox.
You never count out De'Aaron.
Don't forget about Buddy Hield. He's been getting buckets.
Buddy Hield is honestly a monster.
And also Caleb Swanigan's still developing, so he'll also be pretty good. I think Caleb Swanigan.
Of course,
yeah.
Definitely.
So,
all right. So, what's your guys' playoff ranking for the West?
You could go right now, Bicey. I'll go after you.
You go, Iwan.
Oh, I was gonna say for you to go because I exactly agree with Phil. I don't know what ranking it'll be, but 1 through 8, it's gonna be like a dogfight. All I know is that like
It'll be but
And-
I think
You know what? I'll give you ranking too, because my list it's a little crazy, but then you have to take some crazy picks to get it perfect. You know what I mean?
that's true.
So I'll still take Golden State at number 1.
Wait, what? Are you joking?
Yeah, I'd
Really?
take Golden State at number 1.
Okay.
That's really
Interesting.
shocking.
Yeah,
Without Klay Thompson for a majority of the year, that's
All right, Ryan Hollins.
well, they still have they have D'Angelo. They still have a very good team.
no. Their team is
Yeah, don't get me.
underrated,
Yeah,
considering. But I think without Clay out because of his torn ACL injury and not coming back until like March or April, I think the first seed's kind of pushing it.
that's actually
fine.
crazy
Okay,
to me.
Can I change it? Let me change. I have them high, but I don't. Okay, first season. You're right. Okay. Number 1, I'll take the Clippers. Number 1.
Wait,
Clippers,
I just want to say some people have the Warriors out of the standings. By the way, just to let
No,
you
that's
guys
not-
know, which is
Wow.
crazy. Like some
That's-
people have them getting 9th or 10th seed, which is beyond
As long as
crazy.
Steph is playing, that's not going to happen.
Steph and Draymond, they got Willie Trilly,
Ste-
they got Willie Trilly, bro.
Steph's ready for another MVP season though. When he was talking to
Yeah,
Rachel
honestly,
Nichols
he
though.
Steph is alone now. Steph has to share the ball with only
He
two other. They don't need the ball. D'Angelo and Draymond, they don't. D'Angelo's a little more needing of the ball, but
Draymond's not a scorer, yeah.
Look, I underestimate Draymond, and he's a very good player. But like you guys were saying, he's not dependent on offense. He's more of a defensive player.
Oh, but
So
don't
that-
forget about his playmaking on offense though.
No, yeah, he definitely sets up the offense, but him physically isn't doing.
All right,
Yeah.
talking about
offense.
scoring wise.
Draymond physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draymond physically.
Yeah,
He's a
but
good
he's
guy.
definitely,
Good D.
he's definitely.
Phil,
a
you said
great
Draymond
player.
has good D, right, Phil? You said that.
He's got good defense.
Let's keep it professional in here.
Yes.
All right, so keep going with your standings, Vizzy.
No, we gotta have fun, Iman. We don't always gotta be professional.
Yeah, I know. But this is to all people of all ages, so trying to keep it
come
PG
on, man.
here, man.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna just gonna do me. Okay, so number one, I'll take the Clippers.
Right, I agree with that. Paul George, Kawhi, Patrick Beverly. They might get Joakim Noah.
Montrezl Harrell, Zubac. They got
Lou Williams. Don't forget
Lou
Lou.
Will. Lou Will off the bench. That's definitely a great team.
Landry
They got-
Shamit's looking really nice. I don't know.
Yeah, Sham. Dude, you got to realize that team took 2 games from the Warriors last year, and they just added
And
how many
what?
players now?
Montrezl, how do you say Harrell?
Montrezl Harrell. Yeah.
Dude, that team was already an amazing defensive team before the addition of Paul George and Kawhi.
And Kawhi Leonard, exactly. That
that's what
team
I'm
is
saying,
going
but
to be
Ivica
insane
Zubac
this year.
too.
They did
Exactly.
get Zubac, yes, they
And
did.
the thing about adding Paul George and Kawhi to an already great defensive team is that either of those guys can get Defensive Player of the Year any given season. So
Of course, definitely.
Or
Without a doubt.
forget about that. They could also get MVP at any given season. You saw Paul George get third in the MVP rankings, and Kawhi
Right.
not too long back getting third after Russell Westbrook and James Harden.
We saw what Kawhi did last year to the Bucks and the 76ers and the Warriors.
Last
you know.
year, it was a few months ago. My God.
Well,
Killing it.
but the last season, if you will.
Yeah, of course.
He took that team, obviously with DeRozan in the past, struggling to, beat LeBron, of course. And, now they just, make it to the finals first year, their first championship for the Raptors. Kawhi wins finals MVP for the second time. So we've seen what Kawhi can do on the court.
Right.
And, partnering him with Paul George.
Another
and,
guy
the
that
rest
could
of those
create a
guys.
shot.
Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell, Zubac, Lou Will, Shamit. That's a great team, and they could easily make the finals, even win the finals next season. So
I don't know
that's
about
definitely a
easily
great
though. Don't
team.
forget about the Lakers, man.
The Lakers are definitely a good team, but with Boogie being out now, Dwight Howard's looking like a beast now.
Who's going to be stopping AD though? That's what I want to know. I don't think Montrezl Harrell could stop him, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell, he'll put in a good effort. He could hold AD.
Of course, he'll put in a good effort, but I don't think anybody could stop AD
Anthony
on that
Davis is definitely a force to reckon with. He's definitely going to put up a lot of points, a lot of rebounds. So that's partnering him with LeBron, of course. That's also a really good team.
Well, that's why I have the Lakers at. Oh, we'll get to that. So my number 2, right? I'll take. Wait, no. Who did I say? Number 1. Who did I say?
team. You said
Clippers.
the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down. And then number 2, I'll take. Oh, that's hard. Number
It's
two.
very debatable. It's very debatable with the
That's
West
really
this
hard.
year. You
Well,
know, you could
No,
go
I'll
with
take. I'll take the Rockets.
the Rockets.
Whoa.
Okay.
I had
Let's
the
let's
Lakers
talk.
there.
Let's talk about that for a second. Now, the Rockets. You know, obviously adding Russell Westbrook. I got to see how this plays first. It's hard to determine how they will do because you know that James Harden and Russell Westbrook are very ball dependent. You know,
That's true, but the thing is about these guys, they can. The thing is, they are ball dependent, but they can share the ball. The thing about
We
'cause
saw
they've
that
been
in
playing-
OKC.
They've been playing with each other for a long time. Even before OKC, they were
But the
playing.
problem with OKC
Sure.
was that none of those players were MVP caliber players. You know, Harden was, coming off the bench, and
That's
you know,
true.
Russell Westbrook was, a lot younger.
They were still a championship caliber team when they were playing
They
together,
definitely were.
and Harden was
Definitely
on the
were.
bench too. If you think about
They
it,
also had Kevin Durant.
That's
which,
true.
And how is Russell Westbrook going to play off the ball since he's not really a lethal 3-point shooter like that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
and
He's
they're going to be
not,
looking at him to cut usually. So they're going to be able to block him off, I guess, at some
well,
point.
he's still unstoppable on the
If you're a good
fast break.
defensive
He's
player.
going to bring a lot to the team. He's
No,
unstoppable.
yeah, he can. He's on the fast break. He's he's quick. He's agile. He's very athletic.
Yeah, no doubt. They're going to be a fast break team.
And also,
Of course,
if
yeah.
they can't, they shouldn't play. They should play them together, but not as much as other people think they will be. But I know they won't. I know they won't play them together as much because the thing about Harden is that when he's off ball, he becomes like a liability on the court when he's off ball. So then that's a problem, right? You need someone doing something, especially Harden,
Yeah,
a person that can shoot from anywhere. He needs to be able to develop his off ball game.
So, do you guys think adding Russell Westbrook helps more than it hurts? After the trade with Chris
Yeah,
Paul?
100%.
I would say it helps. Yeah. Even though, like I was saying, they're very ball dependent in terms of they always want the ball in their hands. We know that they could definitely share the ball, of course. We've seen Westbrook in the past, and we've always said he needed that help. He got Paul George, but besides that, I think this will definitely help them more than hurts. However,
But the thing is about adding Paul George, it's hard to get a team to mold that quickly. That's why I don't understand the whole. Everyone thinks the LeBron AD thing will happen just by the snap of a finger. It's gonna happen. LeBron teams usually, the chemistry gets together by the after
the second half of
quarters
the season.
Exactly.
okay.
I mean, not just that though, but they actually did surround them with shooters. We obviously saw Danny Green, Quinn Cook could shoot too.
Right.
But it always takes time for the chemistry to get together, especially with a new group of guys like that.
Right.
Yeah, nothing happens quick, like you said. So,
But it's gonna be
I-
exciting to watch, no doubt.
100%.
I kind of want to know your 1 through 8, unless Spizy wants to.
Bazi's
give his-
still there. I want to let him
He's
finish.
still there. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Who did I just say at number 2?
You said the
The Rockets, which surprised me.
That's
The
a
Rockets,
very
yeah.
bold move, by the way. I will
Yes.
But
say
it's
that.
it's very calculated. It's very calculated.
Okay. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah. Number
What's your
3, I got the Lakers. Obviously, we just talked about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
third seed. Okay.
Okay. I like
Number
that.
4, I have at number 4. I got who we got. I'll take.
Well, I felt like. Did
I
you
feel like I
mention
know.
this before?
I'll take the Nuggets.
Okay,
at number
I was
2.
gonna say the Nuggets have to be up there. Honestly, the Nuggets could do better than the Rockets this year.
With the Bobo and if Michael Porter Jr. could be healthy
If
after
they
coming
come
back.
if both of those players play good, you still have Jokic. They of course re-signed Jamal Murray. They still got Gary Harris.
I think
Paul
Gary
Millsap.
Harris is gonna have a breakout season. By the way, just to let you guys know.
sir.
I
agree
call me
100%.
crazy, but I don't know if it'll happen this year. But Jokic could go off and possibly win MVP this year, if not this year, in the next couple years.
I could see
You know,
it being
talk
a
about
top 3
Jokic
candidate.
winning MVP.
It probably
Think about
won't happen
Jokic
this
winning-
year, but because of some, with Michael Porter Jr. and Bobo and Jamal Murray, they have so many talented scorers. But in the next couple of years, I definitely have Jokic winning MVP.
The thing about MVP is that the voters, the people that vote for MVP, usually storyline. Jokic's storyline is pretty lackluster compared to most other MVP candidates, but I see by his playing style, I really like his playing style.
100%.
But if he could build his storyline, his personality a little bit more, that'd be good too.
Where he has a little bit of an ego, you're saying? Kind of.
No, I don't think he has an ego at all. That's the problem.
No, I'm saying you think you should get an ego, a little bit of ego.
Exactly.
Because some people really don't the thing that you said, with Tim Duncan, for example, he didn't have an ego, so like some people actually didn't know how great he was, you know. And then I was talking to my uncle the other day, and he was telling me how like if Tim Duncan had an ego, like everybody would know how great he was and stuff like that.
That's true, but then even Tim Duncan did win MVPs, but Jokic wasn't doing what Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was getting quadruple doubles and shit. You know, Jokic wasn't doing none of that.
He's a quadruple double.
He was.
There was that game where he got close, where it should have been a quadruple double. Yeah.
Yeah, he was putting up numbers like that, and plus he was by the side of David Robinson. He had a lot of everything. It's
David Robinson though, which is crazy because they won a championship and he's always been consistent throughout his career.
2003, right? They won that championship.
What's it called?
It was in the late 90s, I believe.
Yeah, 1997. Yeah, exactly. 2003 again, I believe.
2003 again, right? Yeah. Right after the Lakers won it.
Exactly. They were battling back and forth, the Spurs and the Lakers.
All right. Okay, so who do you have at the, what are we up to, 5th seed?
Oh, me? At the 5th seed, right after the Denver Nuggets. I'll take, and Iman's gonna get mad. I'll take. I mean, he'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'll take Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
right.
like
5th seed. Okay.
I see what's like for me. The top 5 would have been. This is how I would have put it. Honestly, I would have put the Clippers first, then the Lakers, then the Nuggets, then the Jazz, and then probably the Rockets. Yeah.
Honestly, I like that, but I think I would switch. You said you had the Lakers at 2 and who at 3? The Nuggets.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally think I would flip that.
You put the Nuggets over the Lakers?
Honestly, it could happen. It could.
I mean, the Nuggets already have like great chemistry.
If Michael Porter comes back healthy and he starts balling out, and of course with Bobo and of course Jokic, the rest of the team, I think their team overall is better than the Lakers.
Right. And they got some people that could defend, like Torrey Craig. I don't know if you guys saw him like last year, what he was doing against Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, like guarding them. But he did a great job guarding them whenever he was on them. Got up on their nerves.
Okay, let's just stop at top 5 for now, and then how about Iman? I have a question for both of you guys actually.
Okay.
Who do you got? And we'll get to the East standings also. East standings are really East standings to me are usually more exciting because maybe it's because I live in the East, but it's more exciting. But the question that I have is, who do you think will be at the bottom of both?
The last, okay.
Yeah.
I think the Suns for the Western. That's
I have the Grizzlies for the West.
Oh.
The Thunder isn't a bad spot. I mean, they do have Chris Paul, of course, still.
No, I think the Thunder's still kind of solid in my opinion.
I think so also.
Like,
I could have
Steven
the
Adams.
Thunder. What seed do you think the Thunder are going to get, though? Do you think they're going to barely miss the playoffs at 9?
I think they'll barely miss the playoffs.
I could see them getting like 10th, honestly.
Yeah, 9th or 10th.
They got SGA. They got Steven Adams still. They got Danilo Gallinari, Chris Paul, obviously, like I said before.
Yeah, so actually they might even make the playoffs.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. But they added what's it called? Jeremy Grant to the Nuggets. OKC traded them.
Jerry and Grant.
I mean him.
The Thunder also have Terrence Ferguson.
No, Jerry and Grant's his brother, bro.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry and Grant? Yeah.
Jerry and Grant's a beast. I remember.
Yeah. Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
Jerry and Grant
I
was on the Knicks.
The Grizzlies could get the last seed, but honestly, the Timberwolves are not far behind. That team is awful, bro.
Oh wait,
no
what?
way.
No, I think the Timberwolves, like with the draft pick they got in Jarrett Culver, I think they actually got a little. I'm not gonna say better, but I think they at least are preventing themselves from getting the last seed at that move.
Yeah,
if Cat could get his defense, if Cat could get his defense up, they'll be a top team if Cat gets his defense up.
I don't know, it'll be like that huge,
What I will say is that Wiggins really needs to step up because he has been very disappointing the last couple of years. I will say.
I think he's gonna like do good this season.
He's slowly getting better. Wiggins is getting better and better. He's developing still. He's a young kid. He's a young kid still, right?
I mean, I don't think there's no excuses though. He's been in the league for a while, even if he is.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
like 4 years,
4 or 5 years at least. Yeah, I think 4. Yeah.
He's gonna. I think he's gonna be fine next season. Let's see how they are.
I'm not counting him out, but I think that if he doesn't do, at least a decent amount better than the last couple of years, then honestly, I don't know, man. They could try and like trade him or something because he's like really, not helping as much as they need him to.
But at least he's consistent. He's consistent. He won't be an all-star, especially in the West, but he's consistent with his numbers aren't bad. He's averaging around 20 points. He's been averaging 20 points. It's not terrible. He's putting out some type of effort.
And
so
by the way, after you just said that, I would like to say that I switched my answer from the Suns to the Grizzlies, agreeing with Bizey on that they're the last seed because the Suns added Ricky Rubio, and I'm not saying he's gonna make the biggest difference, but after seeing what he did this summer, winning the MVP of the of FIBA, I think he's gonna have an impact, and he might be the guy they need. To at least
just looking at the Phoenix Suns rosters, of course they still have Kelly Oubre, they got Dario, of course Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, they also got Aaron Baines.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against the Phoenix Suns to be last seed next season because it's such a young team. You don't know when everything, because there could be one season where everything clicks, and I don't even know. They could be number one at some point in a couple of years. They could be number one in a couple of years.
Yeah, in a couple of years, no doubt, with all those draft picks they're getting at least.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to bet against them.
Yeah.
Totally agree with. So, and what about you, Phil? What were you saying, by the way?
For what?
For last seed. I forgot.
Honestly, the Grizzlies, they're definitely up there. Losing Mike Conley, of course. Ja
Morant and Jaren Jackson are going to be good together, but it's still going to be until a few years where they're actually legit good.
They're young though, because of course Ja Morant's a rookie this year.
Exactly.
And, Jaren Jackson only how many years now? 2, 3, whatever.
100%. Yeah.
They also have a young team like the Suns, but that is why they won't do so well. They don't have experience in the NBA. And
they'll be good for the prosperity of the NBA. They'll be really good.
In the future they could be on the rise up. The Suns, of course, and the Kings. They also have a young team that's on the rise up.
And the Pelicans are also a young team. Some people even have them making the playoffs actually. So
I don't have them making the playoffs. Basically, like I was saying before, their team is not too much experience in the NBA. Of course, they got Zion and Jackson Hayes. But of course they got Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart from the Lakers. But,
exactly, and they added Derek Favors, underrated signing.
If you guys had to say there would be a dark horse team to make the playoffs in the West, what team would that be?
That's the Pelicans for me, 100%.
It could be the Pelicans because I don't have them in my original top 8, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow snuck in.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram.
I like the Kings at number 8. I like the Kings.
Yeah,
the Kings?
That's a good choice too, right there. Why do you say that? Do you think one of them is gonna have an even better season than what you think? I guess a breakout season.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the King. Well, we already talked about the Kings, but I think Harrison Barnes. He's pretty consistent.
Oh, he's that veteran you need, right?
Yes.
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox defense is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been getting really good.
What's this? Scalabassier? What's his name? Scalabassier?
Scalabassier? Yeah.
Yeah. See, but then that's what you need in the NBA. You need big guys. You need long guys, especially in today's NBA. You need long guys. You need someone with wings.
They also picked up Trevor Ariza as well.
Oh, right. Underrated sign.
Exactly. 3-and-D. See, they got a 3-and-D.
They're getting those veterans they need. Yeah, exactly.
And I see, and Corey Brewer. Don't sleep on Corey Brewer. Don't sleep on Corey Brewer.
So, should we? Do you want to mention your last 3, Bized, or are you gonna leave that in the open? I guess. Should I say?
Let's leave it in the open for now.
All right. So in the East, then, do you guys want to go over the top 5 standings? I guess, or do you want to talk about who's getting the last?
Let's do top 5. Let's do top 5.
Top 5, and then who's getting last. Yeah.
All right. So
my number 1 is the Knicks.
All right. Actually, you know what? Matter of fact, let's go with the worst first. I think that's a little more interesting.
But I don't want to hear Knicks out of your mouth, Phil.
Yeah, all the power forwards signing with the Knicks, man. Yeah,
they signed 4 power forwards this offseason.
We're gonna have our starting lineup will be 4 power forwards and 1 we'll put a point guard at the power forward spot.
They'll put who are they gonna put? They could put Julius Randle at point guard this year.
Well, we'll put Dennis Smith at power forward.
Yeah, Dennis Smith at center. Let's get it.
Shut up.
RJ Barrett at power. at small forward. And
Alonzo
Bobby
Trier
Portis
at
to
center.
play.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Alonzo Trier, I think if he's gonna have a breakout season, the next 5 seasons, he'll be.
Yeah,
be
he's gonna
crazy.
be good. Oh, don't forget about Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. I was just about to say that.
Oh
Mitchell
my
Robinson
goodness.
is very underrated. He could definitely become a star one day.
I see him being basically the king. If the Knicks don't mess up with Mitchell Robinson like before he gets good, I can see Mitchell Robinson being like the king of Madison Square Garden. Like he'll be everyone.
And don't forget about Kevin Knox too. That man's low key a beast.
Yeah, but never mind.
I think he could definitely, if he works on his offense, of course his defense as well, he could definitely become a great player.
But he kind of looks like never mind.
They also
No,
got
wait,
Mark
can I
Morris,
say
they still
it?
got
Go ahead.
Wayne Ellington.
He reminds me of a panini a little bit. Like he looks like a pressed panini.
Wow. Didn't think about it that way.
Bro, what the heck, man?
What are you
That's
guys
what
honest?
Lil Nas was thinking about.
What
Kevin.
are your guys' honest opinions about Frank Ntilikina? You know what I'm talking about, Frank.
Nicolino?
Nah, I'm disappointed. I thought
He actually did really good for the France international team this year. So who knows?
Did he?
Maybe something
Okay.
happens. Like he's been solid. Let's say
He'd be like if you would like to, I would like to compare, like if you want to compare him to like a past player, I would say he's like a Vernon Davis. Like he'd be a good backup point guard, a good defensive backup point guard, like a Vernon Davis on the Houston Rockets with Hakeem, and Kenny.
Wait, you mean Vernon Maxwell?
Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell, yeah.
Vernon Davis is a football player, I think. My guy.
All right, yeah, but don't call me my guy on the pod, dude.
All right, honestly though, sorry, like off topic, but I could honestly, well, of course the Hornets are going to be the worst in the East. I don't think that's really a question. The Hornets have really gone downhill this year. I mean,
They
No, the
basically
Cavs.
gave
I have the Cavs.
Kemba and got Terry Rozier. So
yeah,
have
so
the
the
Cavs.
team just got worse. You have the Cavs, okay?
I don't think the Cavs should be as bad as you think. With
Yeah,
A
Darius
rookie.
Garland.
exactly, and then you have Colin
Brandon Knight.
Sexton still. I mean, I don't know how those two will work together, but I think they should be able to like complement each other
Yeah,
by
but they
the
still
second
got
half.
Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, hopefully coming back. They got
I don't
Delvin
think it'll work
Over.
out.
I mean,
They got
Larry
Cedi
Nance,
Osman. He's been
Cedi
very good.
Osman, Kevin Porter Jr.
But then those guys, the thing about them is that I don't know. It seems like the Cavs seem to mess it up every single year.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna mess it up that bad. To be honest with you, like,
I mean, what about the Wizards? Well, how bad do you? How do you
they
think
got Roy Hachimura. So I want to see how he's doing because
He'll be great. He'll be really good. He'll be very good. Rui Hachimura.
And they still got Bradley Beal, who had an amazing season last year with I believe 25, 5 and 5.
Is Isaiah Thomas hurt again?
Isaiah Thomas.
I believe he's got hurt again, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I hope he really does go back to at least a good form. I'm not expecting him to go back to MVP form obviously after coming back from those injuries, but I think you should. I think who knows? I think he could really make.
How'd he get hurt? Did he fall off his tricycle?
Bro,
Wow.
shut up,
Or did he fall out of his car seat or something? Did his parents forget to buckle the
bro.
car seat?
Shut up.
Wow.
This isn't a roast show, man.
Okay.
I mean, one of his teammates lived at his house. I mean,
Come on, Iman. We gotta be fun, dude.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, man. This man's out here roasting people. What did Isaiah do to you, bro?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know how he got hurt. Was he reaching at the top shelf and he sprained?
Yo, shut up, man.
I don't know. Maybe did he sprain his lat while he was
man.
reaching for the.
All right, let's go top 5 teams.
But yeah, I think Hornets are definitely at the end. But yeah,
Hornets are definitely. And
When is KD coming back?
he might not come back at all this season,
I
but
don't-
he's
yeah,
expecting
I
to
don't
come
think
back.
he's
Not
coming
expected, maybe end of
season, yeah.
season. Yeah.
It depends with the whole thing with the playoffs. If I
Nets
think
are
they'll
still
make
making the playoffs
but-
without KD.
But some
regardless
people
of
don't have them making the playoffs. Which
That's
is crazy
crazy
to me.
to me.
The Nets.
There are so many bad teams in the East, in my opinion. Of course, I could name.
I need to know
Hornets.
who doesn't have the Nets making the playoffs because they're the biggest idiot problem.
No, they're gonna make the playoffs.
They will. They made it without Kyrie.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
You gotta realize they lost Jared Dudley, the GOAT. So you know.
Yeah, but the thing about the Nets is that their team is like they're kind of like the Eastern version of the Clippers to me, a little bit. If you they're like a really solid team without they're a really solid team without without Kyrie and KD,
oh,
they're
like
still a solid team.
the last year Clippers, the last season Clippers, you mean, right? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the underdogs kind of.
I see what
Yeah,
you mean.
exactly.
I see what you mean. Like,
All right, so I just have a question for both of you, because in my opinion, I would say, what do you guys think about the Miami Heat this year? In my opinion, I don't think they're making the playoffs this year, but a lot of people think they will make the playoffs. How do you think the Miami Heat will do this year? Of course, adding Jimmy Butler and losing Hassan Whiteside.
I could see them.
Hassan Whiteside, you can go, Emma.
No, you go first, bro.
Hassan Whiteside really peaked a little early for the Miami. They saw that they wouldn't really get much from. You know what I mean? But I still like Dion Waiters, Justice Winslow. I still see them as they're also a scrappy team. They're a hard team to beat. They're very scrappy, and they got Myers Leonard. They're scrappy. They got fighters. They got dogs.
They got
So
Kelly
I like
Olynyk as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Bam, don't forget about Bam.
oh, Bam
Adebayo.
Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo, yeah.
He's
Bam
been looking
Adebayo.
amazing. He's been looking amazing this season.
Bam Adebayo.
Okay, are you saying it like that?
I agree with all that being said, but I just don't, have them making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that's hard. But the East is so weak. I would take. I'm fine. I have them low seed.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? They might make a trade that's like really shocking. And I heard Justice Winslow like might play point guard. Like he already did actually, like, believe it or not, play a lot of point guard last year when Dragic was out. So I want to see Justice.
Yeah, they like to let him take the ball up. They let him take the.
I think he's gonna be like very nice. You already see his defensive effort. So like, if his offense game develops even more, they could be a scary team next year, really.
And their team is really long. There's like maybe one person under 6'4" on the team. You know what I mean? Like it's really most of the people on the team is like over 6'6", 6'7". Most of the people on the Heat, like, it's a long team. The NBA is like really pushing towards that, like really long athletic guys, like Derrick Jones Jr.
Tall lineups, yeah.
Oh
Derrick
yeah.
Jones.
Like, I think they're gonna be like annoying to like a first seed team. Like, I don't think like a first seed team wants to play them in the first round in the playoffs.
Oh my God, that'd be yeah, exactly, like the Clippers, like last year Clippers.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
Scrappy team, they don't give up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They have all the grit and hustle.
Yeah, and then even if they're down at halftime, give them a motivational speech. They'll come back.
Eric Spoelstra, 100%. I could
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think for the top 5 seeds now in the East?
In the East, okay.
I have Sixers as first seed.
Oh,
Okay.
no, Bucks.
I have Bucks,
Bucks.
as
I
my.
have
I have the Bucks as my second seed.
Now, what I will say about the Sixers is that they are definitely a great team, without a doubt. But losing, Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick, of course, from last season, their shooting is not too good. Just looking at their roster, they really don't have any sharp shooters on that team right now. They still have Tobias Harris, of course. Embiid could spread the floor. He could shoot, but he's not like a crazy, threat from the three. So they're definitely lacking shooting ability, but that is definitely I think they're a great defensive team.
Don't forget about Jay Rich.
Right.
How he came from
Ben Simmons, I think, he's definitely a great player, but I really think he should definitely try and develop a jump shot as soon as possible.
Oh, he has been, if you've been seeing his workout videos.
Really needs it.
He's a
I
beast.
have seen that.
Al Horford and Joel Embiid, though, I don't know how they're gonna work together.
Well, Al Horford he'll be an anchor, like he'll be the vet. That's what he got to be.
Yeah, he is a vet. Yeah,
the vet presence. But I think they did get better. Like, ultimately, even though they lost Jimmy Butler, I really do believe that, because you still got a decent player out of Jay Rich, and then after that, you also added Al Horford to an already solid team. Yeah, you lost JJ Redick, a solid shooter, but with Al Horford's veteran presence.
If we're talking about playoffs and making it deep in the playoffs, and especially
you need shooting, yeah.
It's not even that. It's you need a closer. Who's their closer now? Jimmy was their closer before. Who's their closer now?
I mean, come on now. Before Jimmy was there, I thought Joel Embiid was their closer, and I think he's gonna be even better than last year, which is actually, like, if you think about it, really scary. So
that's true. And they added Trey Burke, didn't they?
Trey Burke, like, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So then Trey Burke, he's a reliable. Maybe not play Ben Simmons with the ball too much. I mean,
yeah,
I know he's a facilitator.
I got confused at another team, but yeah, he did. Like, you're right, they did add him. They added Trey Burke. I mean, my bad. What were you saying though about, like,
the rest? What's the rest of your list, Iman?
After the Sixers and Bucks for third seed, I have the Celtics. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but
no,
I don't know personally. Not a fan of that.
Brooklyn,
I have Brooklyn as the fourth seed.
Okay,
and then I have the Raptors as the fifth seed.
Okay.
All right, so
it's a lot easier with the East, in my opinion, because the West just got so much better this offseason, and the East it's less debatable, really.
Yeah.
Because there's still a lot of teams that are on the rise up, like the Atlanta Hawks and the Heat. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see how they do.
But the thing about that is, I still don't even though the West is so outnumbering the East by so much. I don't like how they changed the NBA playoff, not the NBA All-Star game. I don't like the play. I don't like the playground rules. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of the playground rules.
I mean,
just stick to tradition, right? It's been East and West for a long time.
East West. I actually agree with that.
Personally, I'm actually a fan of the new system. To be honest,
change is like inevitable at some point, but people get bored of the same thing.
Yeah, like, I liked how they aired it this year. Like, they actually chose people, like, picking, and then you were able to trade also. Like, you saw LeBron trade, Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons with Giannis. So that was pretty entertaining to see.
Yeah.
And then what did Giannis say? Isn't that tampering?
Isn't that tampering? Yeah. Isn't that tampering? Yeah.
Oh my god!
Honestly, though, speaking with the Bucks, personally, Giannis honestly is my favorite player right now in the NBA, and
yeah, I know about your iPhone cover, bro, and your lock screen.
Okay. Yeah. But I have
in your room.
No, I have
and your search history, your other search histories.
Oh, okay. But I personally have the Bucks getting the first seed. Like they did last year. But I personally.
But see what they lost. They lost Malcolm Brogdon and they lost Nikola Mirotic. So that's gonna have a huge effect.
They gained Kyle Korver, and Kyle Korver has been teaching Giannis to shoot this postseason. So if Giannis has a 3-pointer this year that's relatively consistent, then he could. He's
been developing one. Like, even last year,
he'll be able to, like. I don't think he'll be like a pull-up player like KD. But even if he has a better 3 than last year, even that'll definitely put them at the top.
Also, don't sleep on Pat Connaughton. Don't sleep on people like Wesley Matthews. They're also killers. They're silent killers too.
Yeah, that's true. Wesley Matthews is going to be pretty good, but I don't know. Malcolm Brogdon had such a huge impact. I want to talk about the Pacers too. Let's talk about how solid they're going to be. Like, I have the Raptors as 5th, but I know a lot of teams are. I mean, I said a lot of teams. A lot of people are probably going to have the Pacers as a 5th seed.
Personally, I don't agree with that. I think, well, first off, let's talk about this. Do you guys know when is Oladipo coming back?
Phil, you don't think that? Phil,
what?
You don't think Doug McDermott's gonna have a MVP season?
No. Do you guys know when Oladipo's coming back from his injury?
I have no idea. Do you know?
The timetable is not decided yet, I believe, but
okay.
I mean, like, still, they have, like, a pretty solid team without him. Like,
no, they have a solid team, but I don't think, without Oladipo, in my opinion, that team is not, capable. I mean, they did get Brogdon, of course.
And TJ Warren, don't forget about that.
Don't forget Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. Oh, Dante Sabonis.
Miles Turner.
Yeah, Dante Sabonis also. Yeah. And Jeremy Lamb coming off the bench.
But I feel like a lot of those players lacked in the playoffs last year. When Oladipo went down, that team just wasn't the same. Of course, I mean, obviously Oladipo being their best player, but I
Oladipo was
think.
balling out, dude. Oladipo was having a
No,
breakout.
yeah, he was doing great, but I'm saying when he went down, that team just fell apart. So,
Think about it this
they,
way: they got the LeBron Cavs last year, like the NBA season before the last one. Like they got LeBron's Cavs to 7 games with Oladipo. So I'm thinking, what could have happened against the Celtics this year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have done.
I know what you mean. Personally, they honestly could have took the 6 to 7. I think for sure.
Yeah,
Alright,
I can
Phil.
see that.
Phil, what were you on your list right after?
The Bucks.
I had the Bucks at first, and then I have the Sixers at second because of course we were talking about the 76ers. Third, that's a tough one.
Cleveland.
No. I guess it would have to be the Celtics, but I'm not too sure. It's a tough one.
Let's talk about the Celtics for a second because they lost Kyrie and Al Horford, and they did a pretty solid job of at least trying to get back a good amount with
Yeah, they
Kemba
got
Walker and Enes
Romeo
Kanter.
Langford. They got Taco Fall.
The thing is,
they have DeAndre Jordan, a very reliable center. He's
DeAndre Jordan on the Nets you're talking about?
Yeah.
wait, what?
We're
How
talking
did you
about
get
the
to the
Celtics.
Nets? You're talking
Oh,
about
I
the
thought we were
Celtics.
talking about the Nets.
No,
Yeah,
I was
the
talking about
Celtics.
But the thing is, like on the Celtics, like sure you got Kemba Walker, which is pretty damn good, like getting like replacing Kyrie, but Al Horford and Enes Kanter's a reliability on defense, so I'm interested to see if he can make it up.
I mean, they still got Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart.
Gordon
got
Hayward could be in better form.
Hayward. Yeah. Personally, I think that Gordon Hayward has kind of been lacking the last couple of years. Of course, he got, that crazy injury a couple of years ago, but I think Gordon Hayward has been lacking. He definitely needs to kind of step up on offense.
But you can see since the injury, he's not the same player. It's not.
I totally agree.
I mean, last year he was coming off the injury. Let's not forget that. So, like, maybe after one NBA season, you could see him back to
get him, let him get back in form, let him heal fully. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with him playing like that. He's still coming back.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be great. Like, I hope so. Like,
I hope he does good. Yeah, personally, I like Gordon Hayward as a player. Seeing that injury was definitely tough. I hope he bounces back.
100%.
Yeah, I hate seeing these huge injuries of these players. Like, so much potential is getting lost.
I know, so much talent. Yeah, I mean, look at Paul George. Luckily, he got that injury, and he still, last year was arguably one of his best years in his whole career.
And imagine how big and how dominant DeMarcus Cousins would be without any of the injuries.
Exactly.
Imagine.
Sometimes you have the opposite side with Derrick Rose or DeMarcus Cousins, and
oh my God, Derrick Rose. That's the saddest one. That and DeMarcus Cousins.
He's one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history with Derrick Rose, without a doubt. Winning MVP at such a young age, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think he would have changed the landscape of the NBA before. You know how the Warriors staff and the Warriors changed. I think Derrick Rose would have been one of those impactful players that would have changed the whole landscape.
Yeah,
100%.
Taking a couple games from LeBron, and then getting stuff that team was definitely a force to reckon with. Back when he was healthy, and they had like Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah. What was he? Wasn't he like 4th runner-up for MVP one of those years or something like that? He was like defensive player of the year,
And Blake
defensive
Griffin
player of
was
the year.
third. That's
defensive player of the year. I mean, Joakim Noah on the Bulls was a monster. With rebounds and his defense, that was definitely a solid team.
I believe that was the year when KD won MVP. Joakim Noah was third.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, after KD and LeBron.
Might have been.
Sorry, Joakim was 4th and Blake was 3rd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think so.
That might have been the year before KD won it, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be.
All right, Phil. Next on your list.
So I said the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Celtics for 1, 2, and 3.
You have Celtics over the Nets.
I do too.
Honestly,
Without KD, KD, they're still going to be solid.
Playing this year, they would 100% be better than the Celtics.
I think they would be the best team. Really, that's how much of an impact KD has. If he didn't get injured.
I don't know about the best team. I personally think the Bucks and Sixers could still be 1 and 2, but the Nets would definitely be 3 without a doubt.
Because the thing is, I mean, all right, let me give you a scenario. Let's match them up right now. The Sixers starting lineup against the Nets starting lineups. Like if KD was there, what would the Nets lineup be to you guys if KD was there?
If KD was there,
Yes.
If KD was there,
Forget about it.
Nah, he would torch the Sixers.
Exactly. They wouldn't. They couldn't stop him.
Who would guard him?
I think Ben Simmons could do a decent job of you can't stop KD, but slowing him down. You know, like what's it called?
He'll slow him down to 25, 26.
Like when when you saw Ben Simmons on Kawhi, like I don't know why they didn't do it because they needed wingspan on him. Like he did a decent job. Like when he was on him. But they had Jimmy Butler on him at times, which
that Jimmy Butler could not guard Kawhi. Let's put it that way. He cannot guard Kawhi.
He's a great defender.
The difference between Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons on defense is Jimmy plays with he plays with more intensity than I think that's what they're looking for.
He does play with more intensity.
But Ben Simmons is more built to guard people like Kawhi, in my opinion.
That's true, but I mean,
he's taller,
Ben Simmons' mindset isn't there.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that.
He's been pretty good though on defense. I think he has the mindset. I think it's just like every year you see him.
With Bized, I mean, this is going back to when the Sixers played the Raptors and that Game 7 Kawhi buzzer beater. But I mean, this is kind of not really irrelevant. But that play when, of course, when Kawhi was running to the corner and Embiid and Simmons were defending him, Simmons just stopped instead of trying to block the shot. So I personally think that, I mean, again, this was one of the craziest shots in NBA history, but I think there's a chance that if Simmons was there, it could have changed that shot. Because, you have an extra 6'10" guy in your way. I mean, obviously you have Embiid who's 7 feet with the, like a 7-foot wingspan, but just having that extra, 6'10" Ben Simmons in the way, it could have stopped the shot from going in.
Yeah, that shot still gives me chills.
Yeah, like how he shot it over basically Embiid and Simmons, like kind of.
And that bounce, that double.
Simmons stopped,
oh my god, that bounce was
the
goodness.
4 bounce. Yeah, it's still crazy.
But in my opinion, though, that is the luckiest shot in NBA history, without a doubt.
No, I mean I can't. The thing I usually I would think, but it's hard. That like it kind of like connects to like if you watch like fighting and stuff like. People usually say, "Oh, that knockout was lucky," but like, how do you know? You don't really know that. You don't really.
Yeah. But personally, I mean, the Sixers gave the Raptors the biggest fight last year. I mean, of course, the Bucks, they won the first 2, and then they lost the next 4, and then the Warriors, battling injuries with Kevin Durant, Clay, obviously. So the Sixers gave the Raptors the most for their money, if you will.
I think the Sixers would have won the finals if they beat the Raptors. There, like.
Oh yeah, personally, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
No, because
they would not have won past the Warriors in the finals.
I think they would have.
Even with those injuries, I think so. Because think about it, like I'm not saying just the logic of the Raptors beat the Warriors in 6 games and the Sixers pushed it to 7 games against the Raptors. Not that logic, but the logic of who's stopping Joel Embiid, bro? Like. Draymond can't stop him.
Yeah, Draymond can't stop Joel Embiid.
Draymond would do well enough.
Nah, man.
He can't stop him,
and
dude.
Listen, and not just that. Look at the backcourt with Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Steph Curry is a defensive liability.
Steph Curry cannot guard Ben Simmons, and who's going to guard Jimmy with Clay out?
Clay could guard him, but he got injured too. So
Clay got hurt. That's what I'm saying. So who's going to guard Ben Simmons, and who's going to guard Jimmy? And of course, KD's not there.
Tobias Harris too. Let's not forget about that. Who's guarding Tobias?
They had JJ Redick, of course. Who's going to guard?
But how do you know? How do you know those guys will show up? That's the thing. They haven't proved that they can show up. We don't know that.
I'm just saying it's that big of a mismatch, though. Yeah, it's that big of a mismatch.
If they had Clay guarding Jimmy, Clay is an underrated defender in my opinion, and of course KD is obviously one of the best players in the league. So if they had those 2 players, it would have been a different story, even against the Raptors. But without Clay, without KD, I think the 76ers could have definitely beat the Warriors as well.
Exactly, and I think they would have like not easily, but they would have won past the Bucks in the same amount of games.
I think the pure fact that experience plays so much of a role in especially in the NBA Finals, they know that they literally know the blueprint to win the finals. They've been there.
So yeah, they've been there.
But the Raptors don't know the blueprint to win the finals. They've never been there.
But you could say the same thing about Houston. You could say the same thing about the Houston Rockets and the Magic when Shaq was on it. You remember Shaq versus Hakeem? You could say the same exact thing.
Shaq versus Hakeem, right?
That was the Magic team was much better, right?
I
know what I
mean,
mean? But
I thought they were
know,
much better. Yeah,
You
like
know, a lot.
that's what I'm
Olajuwon
saying.
was better than Shaq at the time, but you know the Magic, they had Penny Hardaway, so
yeah,
like,
Magic had Penny
The
Hardaway. They had
Rockets
Dennis.
had Twin Towers. Let's not forget about that. You know, like, and they had Kenny Smith Jr., a very accurate shooter. You know, like.
Wait, who the
Kenny-
Rockets? The Rockets had who? Hakeem. They had Kenny Smith, who was Kenny Smith was a good role player.
they had Otis Thorpe, right, at power forward.
Okay, yeah, but who? Okay,
Yeah.
but that's not. You know what I mean? They had one big anchor, and that was
When did
Hakeem.
they?
No,
when
Otis
did they have
Thorpe was a
Robert-
beast.
Did they have Robert Horry at the time?
No, I don't think
Was
they
he-
had Robert. Wait,
They had Robert.
They had
Robert Horry
yeah,
was
they
on the
had him.
Rockets
They had
at
him for
one
the
point.
championships. Yeah, exactly.
Robert Horry again, another role player.
But he's a solid player. He was like.
Look,
let's
for-
not forget
for-
about how clutch he was. Come on.
He's one of the most clutchest players of all time. I mean, I
The
always think
clutchest
of
in
it,
the playoffs.
Robert Horry was in the right place. He's got 7 rings. You know, he's got it with the Rockets. He's got it with the Spurs.
He
He
could
got
be-
it with the
but the thing
Lakers, I
is-
believe. The Lakers, yeah.
But the thing is, sure he's good in clutch time, but what is he put? He's a role player. He's still a role.
He
He's
is a
still
role
an
player.
athletic dude that could
He
like.
wasn't-
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying though. The Rockets had like a solid like bunch of role players though with like a star. You know, like.
But
They
the
still had
Magic,
Hakeem
it was
talent.
like a Showtime Magic team. They had a Showtime Magic team. It's the same exact thing. But the reason
But Hakeem Olajuwon was just
the reason
something-
Houston was able to pull it out over a better team was because they've been there. They knew what's up. They know what's up. You know what I mean?
They had the experience. It's kind of like with the Nuggets last year. You know, I liked to kind of like, you know, talk them because, you know, personally, I still think they should have beat Portland, but that's another story. They just don't have the playoff experience. You know, they got Paul Millsap, who's been there, but you know, of course, Jokic still young. Gary Harris, Jamal Murray. That team is very young, so really no experience in the playoffs.
And-
They still took Portland to 7, however, but.
And you don't need a superstar. Like, look at the Clippers against the Warriors. They brought them to 6 games, and like
They did.
they had like a bunch of good, like solid players. That's what I'm saying. The Rockets back then had those solid players, you know, to push it like and won 2 rings when Michael Jordan was out. They took advantage of that.
They did.
Like that's what I'm trying to say, Baisi. Like, I expected them to win there, but like you know. It wasn't that great of a difference between that Magic team and the Rockets team. But if you look at the Sixers and the Warriors, like, the Sixers were way better than the Warriors with all those injuries, I think, in my opinion, because of the mismatches.
I still firmly believe though that the Raptors did kind of get lucky though with injuries in that shot.
100%.
You know, they definitely you know, that was a great team. I'm not saying they got lucky, their team was terrible. That was a great team. You know, with Siakam, Gasol, Lowry, Danny Green. You know, that was a great team. Of course, Kawhi, who was out of his mind last year.
Oh, Siakam's going to
season.
go off this year. Like, he's going to...
I believe so, too. You know, losing Gasol and losing...
Wait, they didn't lose Gasol. They still have Gasol.
Wait, no, not Gasol. Oh, no,
You're
sorry,
thinking
not
Kawhi.
Gasol. Kawhi and Danny Green, I meant Gasol. But losing, you know, those 2 great offensive players, you know, Siakam... I
And
think
defense
Siakam
players,
could
too.
win. Siakam could definitely go off this year for sure.
Well, Siakam has a stage all to himself now. All he has to prove that he could do it. Prove that he could do it without another
Prove
star.
that he's able to, yeah.
I hope Stanley Johnson also does good for the Raptors this year, along with Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Like,
What
most
about OG
circumstances.
Anunoby?
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna be great. You know, I wish he was able to come back before. But yeah, his defense is gonna be an impact, and I think his offense is gonna develop more.
Yeah,
I
totally
feel the
agree.
rest of your list.
Sorry, what did I say? So I said I had the Bucks, the 76ers. Did I say Celtics for third, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celtics. This is a tough one. I mean, I could honestly, I think I have the Raptors and the Nets at 4 and 5 because I personally think the Pacers, you know, they obviously they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't know how that team is without Oladipo. I mean, they proved against the Celtics wrong. You know, I personally think with the Celtics is, you know, I feel like the Celtics should have done so much better last season and, you know, the years before. But, you know, now they don't have Kyrie. They have Kemba Walker. They did have, you know, Cantor.
But
Langford.
you lost Al Horford's defensive presence.
They did
and
lose
veteran.
Al Horford.
Sure.
Yes, they did.
See, that's why I'm having trouble whether I should put whether I should keep the Celtics in the in the top seeds or maybe
Yeah.
like a middle seed of the playoffs.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
tough for me.
I That's definitely something tough. And personally, in my opinion, I don't think the Magic will do that well this season.
The Magic, I could see them still making the playoffs, I guess, but
Yeah, but they'll definitely be a first round
Exit.
I don't know what
yeah.
direction they're going when they sign Vucevic again, because like you already have Mo Bamba. I was thinking they were gonna develop him, but no, they signed Vucevic, so I have no idea. It's like they're
In my opinion, they need more reliable guards. Their guards are really lackluster. Like I don't
DJ
know. I don't know.
Augustin.
I totally agree.
He would be a good backup point guard. I can't see him being the starting point guard, which they have him.
Yeah, they got Michael Carter Williams, but hasn't been showing up recently.
He's lackluster, but
Yeah,
I like
the San Antonio
I like
12
their
thing.
Evan. I like Evan Fournier, right? I like he's I like Jonathan Isaac. They're reliable.
What
they're
about
solid.
Fultz?
Terrence Ross.
Just they did get Terrence Ross, yes. Jonathan
Fultz.
Isaac.
I mean, maybe Fultz could bring it back. He's still young. The thing is, he's
I
still
hope
young.
so.
I want to see him do well.
After seeing him in college, he was such a beast, man. Like I want to see him, like develop
Yeah,
into a player.
first pick in what was it, 2017? Yeah, first pick. I mean, yeah, he was definitely. You don't just get first pick out of nowhere. He was definitely a talented coming out of college, and of course, injuries are forcing him to not display it in the NBA. But I hope he comes back as well personally, because I hate seeing players that are like supposed to do so well and then injuries kind of interfere. Because
like I see them being like 6 to 8 along with like the Pistons. Like the Pistons are also looking like that.
Yeah, no, that's why I have the Pistons in my top 5.
Whoa, wait.
Nah, I don't. I
like
disagree.
as 5 or
As number 5, yeah.
Nah.
I don't agree with that, but I could see why. So I'm not like gonna argue with that because
I think Pistons are getting either 7th or 8th.
Yeah, but then the thing is, that's my dark horse pick. That's my dark horse
That's
pick.
your dark horse.
they added Derrick Rose and Joe Johnson. So let's see what happens with that.
Exactly. And Joe's been. I know it's the big 3, but he's still balling out. It's 1-on-1. He's been ISO Joe for time, and his 1-on-1 game
he's
coming off the bench.
definitely a lot older now. He's not, how he used to be. And they picked up, they got what's it called? Obviously they have Thon Maker, but Thon Maker really hasn't been, performing.
Yeah, but the Thon hasn't his I don't know.
He's
Bucks,
still young.
The Bucks before I guess they didn't put as much. I guess they put a lot of emphasis more on Giannis. I understand why, but they put more emphasis on Giannis's development than Thon's development. I feel like Thon was just the side kid.
Like he was a guy staying in like the corner basically as like a center that could kind of shoot.
Yeah, exactly. You guys got to remember about Giannis, and with putting the Bucks under the Sixers or over whatever. Just the fact that Giannis is doing, what he is doing. He's only 24. He's not even in his prime yet, and he's already he won an MVP last year. Of course, he's putting up crazy numbers. Without a reliable jump shot. And to me, I think that's insane. Not really being the offensive threat. Of course, on the 3-point line. Obviously, in the paint, there's no one stopping him because of his athleticism. He's big, he's lanky. He's basically like a Kevin Durant, but with more mass.
And we saw peaks of his jump shot at times. My bad.
Yeah, I think he just started. I think he just entered prime with that MVP season.
No, yeah, he has plenty to develop and improve, or not. He doesn't need plenty to improve. I mean, in terms of he's got plenty of time to improve. I meant to say, and he's been working on his jump shot this off season. So hopefully, if he comes back next year with a more reliable jump shot, he will definitely be a huge threat in the postseason for sure.
All right, Phil, next on your list.
So I had the Celtics at 4th. I guess I would have to go with the Brooklyn Nets at 5.
I like that.
With Kevin Durant out, they still picked up Kyrie, of course, and they also picked up DeAndre Jordan this offseason.
I don't know how I like that or not, though, because they already had a solid dude in Jared Allen. Like, are they going to play Jared Allen and DeAndre at power forward and center? Because both of them...
Personally, I think they could, but they might put Jared Allen bench. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Kyrie's he's also known for being a finisher. So if you have Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan in there clogging the paint, I don't know how that's gonna work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, I mean,
but the thing with that is, with DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen paint, that's definitely defense, and of course they could be getting a lot of rebounds. I mean, they could put them at power forward and center. because Jared Allen 6'11", DeAndre Jordan 7 foot. It's not like you're putting a center at power forward. But they still have Joe Harris. They have LeVert. They have
like Jared Allen could shoot like better 3-pointers than you and stuff, Phil. But like it's not like NBA level where he could actually shoot it.
Wait, who were we saying?
Like Jared Allen could probably shoot threes better than you, but you can't like shoot them at the NBA level. Where it's like, oh, like they're gonna actually guard up on him. I seen him.
But Jared Allen is still, he did really well last season, and
man, I'll dunk on Jared Allen.
He's gonna block you like he's been blocking all these NBA stars.
No, yeah, he blocked LeBron a couple times. He blocked Durant, Giannis. I believe he blocked Kawhi. He blocked. He's capable of that defensive threat. It's no easy dunks on Jared Allen, that's for sure. But I personally think that if KD was playing this year, that they wouldn't. I don't think they would necessarily get the first seed, but they would definitely get top 3 without a doubt. And that is definitely, it's so unfortunate with injuries. Having a season without KD and then Clay for a majority, which it sucks, but you got to pick what you got. And they rushed his injury. They rushed KD's injury. Could have played this year, but that's another story.
Like my ideal lineup if KD was there would be point guard would be what's it called? Kyrie Irving, obviously, and then shooting guard would be Joe Harris. Then you got Karis LeVert. Then you got KD.
Joe Harris at shooting guard?
Harris at shooting guard. That's interesting.
Yeah. Then you got KD, and then you got Jared Allen.
Jordan.
Oh, sorry, DeAndre Jordan. My bad, yeah. And then you have Spencer Dinwiddie and Jared Allen off the bench.
But the thing about but if you're talking about this season, KD's not going to be in. So I would take Kyrie at the 1, Spencer Dinwiddie at the 2, Harris at the 3, and then
Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan. Personally, I think that's what they should do. Yeah,
but I don't know. That's going to take away Kyrie's finishing ability with DeAndre and Jared Allen clogging that paint. Kyrie won't really be able to work inside like that.
Or you could just switch out. I mean, Jared Allen doesn't. He has that big of an ego. You could put out DeAndre Jordan at the center first, and get a smaller power forward.
Oh, Terry and Prince maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Solid.
Exactly. Or even Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple could play. He could play the 4.
I don't know about that, bro.
No, he can, dude. He's 200 pounds, 6'6". He could play the 4. Especially in today's NBA, the four is becoming small. The 4 has been getting smaller, especially on these high volume shooting teams.
Yeah, but that's pretty small. 6'6". Like I'd have him at the 3 if anything, bro.
6'6". Wait, who were you saying 6? Who were you saying at
6
the power
foot,
forward?
man.
I'm sorry.
I damn playing the 3. Sorry, you said power forward?
Yeah, who you said you were talking about someone 6'6". I kind of.
Oh yeah, he was mentioning Garrett Temple, but I don't think he'll play power forward. Like I'd have like Terry and Prince
Garrett
there.
Temple.
But if you want to unclog the paint, that would be the move to put either.
Yeah, put Terry and Prince though, but don't put Garrett Temple.
Look at Draymond. He's what 6'7" power forward. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Of course, it's happened in the past. Of course, it's happening nowadays.
Yeah,
but
Charles.
The thing is,
Don't get me wrong.
Built like a power forward, even though he's the size of like a shooting guard, small forward.
Charles Barkley 6'5", but he was built like a power forward.
6'6", yeah, exactly.
And Iman's built like Charles Barkley.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Except I'm anorexic.
He's getting those donuts in pregame.
Yeah, Iman's the reverse Charles Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. The anorexic Charles Barkley.
Like if the outside bulge went inside, like if he had a concave bulge.
Oh shit! It's been over an hour, but. So, Bias, do you want to quickly tell me your standing list?
Yeah, I'll say my list. You know me. I like crazy. I like to take the haymaker. I like taking.
Oh man! All right, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
So my number 1.
Don't say the Knicks. I know you're gonna say the Knicks.
Yeah, don't say the Knicks.
Guys, come on.
What?
Come on, guys. Do you guys know who Kadeem Allen is? Stop sleeping on Kadeem Allen.
Oh man.
No, dude. But personally, though, with what we were saying before with the Knicks, I think that won't really do too well this year. They have more big big men than anything else. They got like 5 power forwards.
It's gonna be another sad year for me and my Knicks, but at least we have Ignas Brazdeikis.
I mean, you got Mitchell Robinson and I'm just gonna say Ja Morant, RJ Barrett.
Okay, so number one, I'll take the Bucks.
Okay.
Number one, okay, I agree.
Number 2, I'll take. Obviously, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, I got Nets, Brooklyn Nets.
All right.
3.
I respect
Okay.
that, I guess.
That's
Number
tough.
4, I'll take the. I'm not gonna. I'll take Toronto number 4.
Okay. Yeah, putting them over the Celtics is pretty bold in my opinion, but I still think that team is pretty decent considering losing Kawhi and Danny Green. So
No, I think the Celtics literally. I think they're a young team and they'll do well, but I don't know if they're still top. I don't know if they have like the ability to be a top playoff caliber team.
I could definitely understand that they have the players but not the experience.
Exactly, and then defensive liabilities is going to be a big. It's
Losing
good that
Al Horford was definitely a big hit to Celtics.
Exactly.
And
And I think Inez Cantor, wherever he goes, you can see that there's like a deficit in the team. You know what I mean? Even though he could put out 20, he could put up 20 and a good amount of rebounds,
20 and 10,
29, 20, 10. Yeah. So then he could do that, but then the liability he puts on defense, and I'm sure his plus minus is really low. You know what I mean? So I feel like
I get what you're saying.
I feel like his he doesn't it's negligible. The amount he brings to the team is negligible with the amount the team loses. So
Okay.
So then I would have, and this is a haymaker. Oh shoot, should I even say it?
You're gonna say the Pistons, right? You already said it.
Yeah, Pistons.
Pistons. What seed 5?
Number 4 and no. Who did I say 5? I said Raptors 4, and then I take Pistons 5, and then Celtics 6.
Oh wait, so
yeah, I don't know about the Pistons over the Celtics.
wait, okay, yeah, now that's crazy. You're going
That
to
sounds
like Ryan Hollins NBA.
You're going a
style.
little too far with that one.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I don't know if you're trying to play Ryan Hollins on this podcast, but you're doing a damn good job of.
Because you guys don't. The thing about the Pistons, I don't know. They're a long team. I like they're gritty. They're defensive. They're strong.
Yeah, but they didn't get much better than last year. Yeah, their team got better, but
neither did the Celtics.
They're not better enough to go from 8 to 5 and like that. I think they'll stay. If anything, they'll get 7th, 6th, the best. I don't see them doing better than the Celtics. Definitely,
I see them at 5.
Man,
and
I don't have them over the Celtics or even the Pacers at that point. I think if anything, Celtics 5, Pacers 6, and Pistons 7, and then 8.
I have the Magic
8's very
8.
up in the air. You could have the Magic. You could have the Heat. I think the Magic over the Heat, if anything.
The thing is, I don't see the Celtics, the chemistry. Of course, the Celtics look better on paper. I agree 100%. They look better on paper, but I don't think they have the team chemistry. I feel like Kemba's personality wouldn't really fit with the Celtics. I don't know. I mean, maybe Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is a miracle maker. He does do.
Is definitely a really good coach.
I feel like they're barely gonna pass the first round though, because if you look at it, Kemba Walker doesn't have experience past the first round.
He doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, he very well doesn't.
And the thing is, once they start,
team, no, it's not his fault. His team has let him down the last couple of years. Now that he's playing with the more talented team, I think Kemba.
No doubt, but like experience wise, you know what I mean.
But Kemba's under a lot of pressure. He's the new guy, right? So then once they start losing a couple games, where's the blame gonna go? Where's the teammates? And the Celtics,
go to Kemba,
those guys on the roster, they like to blame people. You saw that with Kyrie. They like blaming people. They like saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then that's why I don't really see the chemistry portion. Even though Kemba's a nice guy, he's good. He's good at that. But I don't see the chemistry working out, which is the reason I have them under the Pistons. I like the Pistons a lot this season.
Well, a lot of people actually agree with you.
I don't know, man. I think that's blasphemous.
What? What'd you say to me?
Stephen A. over here. But
I think that's blasphemous.
Do you know Sekou Doumbaya?
Alright, but like I understand why you could you could put like the Pistons at like 5th or 6th, but to put them like over the Celtics is kind of bizarre to me. Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I mean, people have the different opinions, but I just don't see it. I mean, we'll see this year. We'll see. Time will come, but I just think with their roster, I get what you're saying. I mean, obviously, of course, they're better on paper, but we're not even basing it off of just better on paper. I just think the Celtics will. I don't think they'll go far in the playoffs, but I still have them. Ranking higher than the Pistons, of course.
The thing is, I see Joe Johnson and Derrick Rose, especially in a place like Detroit. I see them making a huge difference in a place like Detroit. It's a place where they need scores. It's a place where they need people. It's a place where they need that. They have defense already.
But they don't really have scores.
And they have the best rebounder. They have Blake
They
Griffin.
got Blake Griffin. He can score. He
can score well. And they have Andre Drummond, the best rebounder. I'm sure. I'll still say that.
I think he's one of the best rebounders of all time. To be honest with you,
he's one of the best rebounders. But his offense definitely anything.
His offense has been getting better though. Like he actually play makes a little at times. If you've been watching the Pistons play, like. He could be a focal point, like
I don't know if you saw it. Did you guys see his handles? His handles are crazy on that one. He was like going. Did you see? He drove through the whole team.
Oh yeah.
There was like one team he was like doing spins and like going between the legs. I was like, damn, Andre.
And he's not like a free throw. What's it called? Liability anymore? Like a free throw.
He can't shoot free throws.
He can shoot free throws now.
But yeah,
he's been shooting it better. All right, so
I'll shoot you better.
Shut up. So like, what's it called? Like, guys, it's been over an hour.
However, I think what I will. Yeah, but I just got one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
I think we should compare. I think we should compare the East and the West for one moment. I think my honest opinion though is that the last couple years the West has just been on top, and I still firmly believe the West is on top by quite a large margin, because when you compare seeds, that I think that's the best way to do it. I think comparing seeds in the West is a lot harder because I think, we were struggling a little more, I think, with seeds in the West and the East. The East, is a little easier because, after like the first 3-4 seeds, the teams are already starting to drop. Whereas in the West, what we were talking about was how, the Thunder could be somewhat a little underrated, even though in my opinion, I still don't think they'll do too well this year. And the Timberwolves as well, but also, like how they got the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Rockets, the Spurs, the Kings are on the come up. They got a lot more teams that are like either on the come up or already good, whereas the East is kind of lacking all of that. So, I just think that the West is still, quite a lot more dominant than the East and has been the past couple of years.
I have one question for both. Okay.
Okay. My god, this is a joke.
Okay, so in the middle of the NBA season, right? Let's say the Lakers get number 1, right? And Dwight Howard joined. The team's looking good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then, it's 3 a.m. and both of you get a FaceTime call from Dwight Howard.
Yo.
If I got a FaceTime call from
Bro. Yo, bro, chill out, man.
Are you picking up or what? No, to answer the question, are you picking up?
I mean, how would I know it's Dwight Howard though?
It'll say the number. You don't have his number, but it'll say like his caller ID says Dwight Howard.
But if I don't have him as a contact,
I was just saying how people are so. I actually forgot to mention that, but how people are so mean about it. I'm like you guys.
That's sus. That's sus.
I haven't seen some.
Okay, fine. Okay, how about this? He calls you from his iMessage, Dwight Howard at Gmail.
Like it's Dwight Howard before picking it up, obviously.
Dwight Howard at Gmail.
I guess. I mean, it's Dwight Howard. I mean, it's an NBA player.
Wait, why is he calling me though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's the point. Are you picking up or what?
Personally, probably. I mean, that sounds weird. It's Dwight
All right,
Howard.
time to end it. All right, time to end it.
Philly D.
All right, guys.
If Giannis FaceTime me, I would pick up in a heartbeat.
Okay, yeah, all right. So we all know Phil has him as a screen cover. His iPhone case probably has like posters underneath his bed.
Phil. Okay, Phil. Wait. So you pick up the call, right? And you see Dwight Howard has lip gloss on, right?
Oh, shit.
And he's wearing a red robe, right? But it's open a little bit, you know what I mean?
Hell no.
All right, guys. No. This has been the Fast Break.
Definitely end
Wait, I'm not done. He goes in his mouth.
He has what?
And he said, pull up. And he moved his lips, so he said, pull up. What are you doing? Phil, you pulling up or what?
Absolutely not.
Okay, guys. All right, let's end it there.
Iman, you didn't answer, Iman.
Yo, shut. Okay, so guys, this has been the Fast Break.
Iman, are you picking up
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Iman,
thank you for watching.
Answer the question.
Peace out.